Hello beautiful people, here's a quick review of the first vehicle, the Hungarian but in Italian service Turan II, from the new Firepower Battle Pass. Hope you enjoy. The Turan II is a Battle Rating 2.0 premium medium tank, which can greatly help the Italian Battle Rating 2.0 lineup. Let's look at some of the pros and cons. Some of the pros. Firepower. The Turan is equipped with a very fast firing 75mm gun. Base reload speed is 4.3 seconds. If you have the load up to 5 and you throw some civil lines after it, which I did, it will bring it down to 3.5 seconds. Getting it to this expert status was pretty cheap with only 15k civil lines. Base turret rotation is 10 degrees a second, and with the crew up to 5 and expert, you can get it very close to 14 degrees a second, which is pretty fast for this large turret and gun. Choices for ammunition is high explosive armor piercing, high explosive and heat. In reality you only have one good choice, and that is the heat shell. The armor piercing high explosive has low armor pain with only 43mm at 100 meters. Sure, that will be enough to defeat a number of Battle Rating 2.0 light tanks, but a Battle Rating 2.3 and beyond it is pretty much useless. The heat shell however is a different matter. Here we find 90mm of armor pin at all ranges due to how the heat shell works. Of course, the heat shell also comes with drawbacks, with detonating on fences etc, making aiming somewhat annoying. Mobility. The tank has a max speed of 43 km an hour, and the acceleration actually feels pretty good for the size of tank. Also the reverse is excellent with 12 km an hour. Something a lot of lower ranked tanks struggles with, but the Turan is great in that regard. Crew. The tank has a crew of 5, so there's a couple of guys to go through in case you lose some along the way. Armor protection. Here we find 50mm on the front of the hull and front of the turret. The sides of the turret and hull are 25mm thick. The Turan also comes with mesh side skirts and skirts for the turret, which should in theory protect against heat shells. The skirts found on the hull seems to be working in the protection analysis against heat shells, but the mesh skirts found on the turret does not really seem to be working. Smoke launcher. The Turan has a smoke launcher with 5 shells, and they detonate one at a time. The shells are not being thrown away from the tank but detonates on top of it. Now I've only played the Turan for a few matches, but I could find a few cons, and these are it. No smoke shells. Sadly the 75mm gun is not able to use smoke. Only heat. With this I mean you really only have one decent choice for ammunition, since neither the APHC or high explosive shell are worth anything past Battle Rating 2.0. So it's take it or leave it. Ammo racks. The Turan has ammo racks all over the place, including a crazy 5 different ammo racks in the turret alone. This of course means that if you bring too much ammo and your turret gets hit, chances are that it will destroy you in one go. In order to prevent this, do not bring more than 23 shells. This will ensure that only the ammo racks in the hull itself will be used. You're welcome.
Attention to the map!
If I should compare this to another tank, it would be the German Panzer IV-E, also found at Battle Rating 2.0. The two tanks are very alike. If you have played and liked the German Panzer IV-E, you will also like the Turan II. It has a similar gun with a slightly less effective heat shell than the Panzer IV-E. Also similar but better armor protection and better mobility than the IV-E, and with faster turret rotation. Furthermore, the mesh skirts actually do seem as if they work against heat shells, at least the ones found on the hull. It can roll a little-ish, but I wouldn't really go too far doing so, especially not in up tiers. But what you can do is hang back a little and use the fast firing 75mm gun to great effect.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours. Il cannone è stato caricato. Sul bersaglio. Il nemico è stato distrutto. Il cannoniere è stato stordito. Richiesta per fuoco di artiglieria. Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close. L'avversario è stato stordito. Attention to the designated grid square.
But that was about it for this little review. Until next time, remember to deploy your die brakes. Have a good one.